Hello, beautiful people. All right, finally getting around to doing the Yieldmax single stock um, ETFs here. So I've skimmed through the trades page, and everything that's on there we'll see on here. So we can cover this all on the holdings tab. And then, of course, I just realized that I did the daily roundup today. Last week I said I was going to do it as a test to see, if people liked it and who wanted me to keep it. And I don't even know if anybody actually said they wanted to keep seeing it. And honestly, I didn't even go back to look at views or likes or anything. Uh, I don't know. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I think today I rushed through it, that and Ulti, really quick, because on Mondays I work in the office, and so I don't get home until 7 o'clock at night. I actually had it ready to go. Um, I could have done it right after work in my car, but I had to go get supper, and then I had to drive home before my husband went to work. So those got posted late. But I hope if any of you are watching that watch this video, I hope you're enjoying it. Obviously, if you're some people don't want to watch the holdings and see all the strike prices and get all in depth, and they just like that little roll up, and that's just fine. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the weekend video too. I mentioned it earlier today. In case you don't watch, I don't know which spreadsheet it's on. In case you didn't watch the roll up, here it is. So, and actually that's not it. I mentioned in that roll up about the weekly roll up. My goodness. It's over here. Like, I don't even know where it is. This is what we did for the weekend, and then earlier today I was looking at this and decided that I didn't like it because I couldn't see one ETF all on one page, and then I'd have to scroll all the way over. But that's not how I'm doing the video, because scrolling constantly left to right to me is going to make my head hurt, and I'm sure there's other people out there that's going to make their head hurt. So I don't know. I really do want y'all's feedback on this, because the way I had the weeklies before, you could see that entire ETF. I did it portrait mode, and you could see that one ETF on one page. I could cover everything for that ETF and then move on. And in the way I did it this weekend with this, I was basically covering all the short call premium for all ETFs. Then I was covering all the estimated, earnings so far, instead of concentrating on one. Of course, then I just took it and I just copied and transposed it here. So it's not pretty, but I just put it here to see what it would look like if I used that exact same data and try to line it up in a column format. And of course, it's not really pretty, but I didn't do anything to try to pretty it up besides copy and transpose it. So it'd be up and down versus left to right. So I don't know. And then I got to thinking, then I started doing the daily video, and then I was like, well, I do the same thing with this one. I do left to right. Of course, these are usually pretty quick, but it's really the same thing, though, that I'm not covering. This one's different than Ulti. These are all their own individual ETFs. Unlike Ulti, it's all the same ETF. So I don't know, but if y'all could, I don't know why I have so many things open on here. I guess because I was messing with it earlier. But if y'all could give me some feedback on how y'all feel about that, I don't know. I probably I think way more into stuff than some people probably do, and that's just because I'm trying to figure out the best way to do things. But, I'm thinking, like, well, if I only wanted to see a couple of ETFs, if I'm not covering that whole ETF at once, you can't be like on the holdings and trades. You can't just fast forward until it's your ETF you want to see. You're basically having to stick around for the whole thing. But doing it this way, you can see the comparison between all of the ETFs. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to move on, but I did mention this during the roundup video today because I wanted to get some feedback. So in case if you don't watch that video, I wanted to mention it again this evening, and just in case. So let's go back to the holdings. Okay, so we're just going to get started here. And AIYY. So we closed today at $14.94. AI closed at $27.63. And they have added 295 contracts to the current synthetic position. They added 145 contracts to the short call expiring Thursday with a strike price of $28.50. But then they opened up a new short call with the strike price of $28 for 150 contracts. I don't know if I can always forget to try to make these columns smaller. But, okay, so there's our new trades for the day. So we have the 3 short calls that will all expire Thursday, $28, $28.50, and $30 strikes. I'm not going to go over the synthetics unless some of them expire this week, because they'll be further out, and that'll save us a little bit of time on these. But you can see, obviously, red means not good. Green means good. So just a reminder, just in case you haven't watched this before, if you on your synthetic, you want to be above the strike price. And then for your short call, you want to be below the strike price. Of course, here you can see, well, our synthetic is higher. That's because when these positions were open, the stock itself was higher. And so that's why those are still higher. But they don't expire for another 3+ weeks. So 3.5 weeks. All right, so for our strike prices for our short calls, we're underneath those strikes by 1%, 3%, and 8%. I forget, on the Ulti I have to scroll all the way over because it has each stock's days changes and percentages. So I keep wanting to go overextend there. All right. If we move on to AMDY, the strike price is $20, and I'm sorry, what am I saying? The close price for today was $20.30. AMD closed at $178.63. We don't have any trades to go over there. We have 2 short calls that expire Thursday with a strike price of $185 and $187.50. We are currently 3% and 5% below those strike prices. If we go on to AMZ closed at $23.32. Amazon closed at $179.71. We have 1 short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $180. We are currently under that strike price 29 cents, and it's Monday. However, since Friday's a holiday, in case I know I didn't mention it in this video, but I've mentioned in the past 3, Friday's a holiday, today's already over, so we only have 3 trading days left for this week. So this week's already going by fast, at least for those that get Friday off. But let's see, let me scroll over so you can see the rest of the market value if you're wanting to see that, which is the only reason I scroll over, so you can see it, but I'm not reading all the data there. But we'll move on down to Apple. Apple closed at $17.01. Apple closed at $170.85. And they have 1 short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $175, in which we're currently 2% below that. If we move on down to Coney closed at $29.41. Coin closed at $279.71. So it looks like some people must have tried to take some profits today, because they closed out of, or I guess not necessarily today, but they closed out of 415 contracts. And I don't have a total on these, but I should probably put a total. I don't know. Y'all might not want to see it. But $470,000 is what was brought in if we're looking at the total there. So basically on the synthetic, because it cost them money to close out that short call, or those numbers. So it was 415 contracts. We still have 14,360 left. So the short call that expires Thursday is a strike price of $267.50, and we're already 5% over that strike price. I do believe we opened somewhere around 250 something today. But yeah, we're already 5% over. If we move on to Dizzo, it closed at 22.48. Disney closed at 119.36. We have no trades to go over, but our short call strike price is 118. So we're already over that by $1.36, which is 1%. If we move on down to FBY, it closed at 23.41. Meta closed at 503.02. We have no trades to review there. And we have one short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $5.15, and we are currently 2% below that strike price. We move on down to GUI. GUI closed at 17.07. Alphabet closed at 150.07. We have no trades to go over. We have two short calls that expire Thursday with strike prices of 152.50 and 155. We are currently 2 and 3% below the strike prices. If we move on to JPMO, it closed at 21.29. JPM closed at 194.82. We have no trades to review here. We do have a short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $200, in which we are currently $3 below that strike price. Murni closed at 21.06. Moderna closed at 110.38. So that did go up today. And our short call that expires Thursday has a strike price of 109. So we are $1.38 above our strike price already. 1%. MSFO, it closed today at $22.70. Microsoft closed at $422.86. We have no trades to review. We do have two short calls that expire Thursday with strike prices of $4.30 and $4.35. We are currently 2 and 3% below those strike prices. If we move on to Misty, it closed, I can only assume, its all-time high, and all Yieldmax ETFs all-time high of $43.34. MicroStrategy closed at $1,856. So they added two contracts to the synthetic positions they already had, and they opened up a new short call with two contracts, bringing in $7,000 in premium, and that new strike price is $2,130, in which we are currently 13% below. However, the short call we already had that expires Thursday with the strike price of $1,800, we are over that by $56 or 3%. Of course, you could see if we had to close that one out right now, it would cost us $2.7 million to close that out. If we move on to Netflix, it closed at $19.09. Netflix closed at $627.46. We have no trades to go over. We do have a short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $640, in which we are currently 2% below. NVIDIA closed at $30.70. NVIDIA closed at $950.02. So I'm curious what NVIDIA's all-time high, 52-week high is $31. And today's high was $31, so it hit its high today. No trades to go over. We have a short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $9.95, and we are currently 5% under the strike price. OARC closed at 13.24. ARC closed at 50.25. We have no trades to review, but we have a short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of 50.50. So we are 25 cents below the strike price. If we move on to PayPay, it closed at 19.27. PayPal closed at 66. We have no trades to go over. It has a short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $66. And it's exactly what we are at, is $66. And again, it's Monday. I'm going to guess there's going to be some red days. Well, technically, since what's weird is that the S&P was down today, was in the red. I don't know if the NASDAQ and them finished in the red or not or what, but I know my portfolio wasn't red. It was green, but I think it's because Tesla went up, and I'm heavily invested in Tesla for some weird reason. But, yeah, but still, I mean, I don't know. Most of these, if you look at most of these and most of the ones in Ulti, most everything was green. So, yeah, interesting. But anyway, SQY closed at 24.72, while Block closed at 82.62. So I might have to add this to my daily summary, these 52-week highs. So I'm looking, SQY, its 52-week high is 24.98, but it shows today's high was 24.91, so that must have happened on a different day. It looks like maybe Thursday. Yeah, Thursday was at 24.98, it looks like. All right, I'm sorry, I'm just curious, as, where we're going on these, which, so if any of you are watching this, if you do watch the daily roundup, if you'd like me to add the, 52-week lows and 52-week highs to that, let me know. I have it on one of my other spreadsheets, I just don't have it on that one, because I try to provide y'all what y'all want to see, and if nobody says they want to see it, then it sometimes things won't get added. But, anyway, let's move over. So no trades to go over, but we have a short call that expires Thursday with a strike price of $84. And I know that Block was also up to $84 last week. So anyway, we're currently 2% below that strike price. Tesla closed at 15.86. Tesla closed at 172.63. There are no trades to go over, but we have two short calls, 172.50 and 175. Of course, the 172.50, we're over it by 13 cents right now, which is where the majority, 75% of our shares are at. The other 25 shares are sitting at the 175, in which we're 1% under. And our last one, Zomo, price $18.38. Exxon 114.65. No trades to go over. We do have the short calls that expire Thursday with strike prices of 113 and 114, and we're over both of those. So we're over we got 700 contracts at both strike prices. We're over the first one by $1.65, and we're over the second one by 65 cents. If we keep going down, YMAG closed today at $20.55, and YMAX closed at $21.61. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. $21.65. All right, we're going to leave that right there. Please don't forget to comment below. I know I've said a lot of things this video, and I can't remember. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to stop this video and go ahead and get it uploading to YouTube, and that usually takes about an hour. But I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.